Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines. We are working on my Tropical Paradise project. What we're going to be working on today is the low to middle class residential area. This is basically where all of our workers that basically run this city, the unsung heroes, so to speak, all the hotel workers, all the nurses, all the regular Joes, basically, of our island are going to be living is over in this area. I'm kind of gonna try to keep it from being like too wealthy looking. You know, I don't want to put like mansions up on hills and stuff. This is just gonna be one of the main residential areas, which is kind of off the beaten path, so to speak, of our main city. I'm probably gonna do some more residential and stuff actually in the city, but since it's a huge like strip of land, it's not very wide, so we're probably just gonna do some like apartment complexes and stuff like that are going to be just kind of on the edge, but that's at a later date. Once we get in the actual city and stuff, we'll start kind of getting into that. This instead is going to be just kind of its own area, kind of a tropical suburban area, basically, is what we're kind of looking. This is where I kind of want to say where some of the Karens stay. Yeah, I guess this could be some Karen. Some Karens could probably live over here, married to their Chads. But yeah, it's just going to be a lot of the regular average people kind of area over here. This is where, you know, they have found their home, you know, what they could afford and stuff over here, which probably some of these houses probably aren't cheap anyway. When you look at houses in Hawaii, like, even like large houses, which you normally wouldn't even call a mansion, go for the same price that a mansion would go for. So it's ridiculous as far as pricing and stuff goes. So yeah. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling at this point. What you've seen me do here is I've cleared out the space and stuff that we're working for. I am now placing down some rows. I've done some terrain work and stuff to kind of do it. I want to try to give it like levels, basically. So we have like multiple levels where the houses are going to be, and kind of some hillside houses, but not really like, you know, hillside houses, so to speak. Some of the houses and stuff that I'll be using for making this, I was very picky about which ones I chose. I have a lot of really good houses, like good things I could use, and that would probably work in most cities except this one. I had a hard time trying to find houses that fit my tropical kind of look, so I ended up going with only a few and kind of using them sparingly and trying to mix them up here and there. But it's a lot of the same houses and stuff, and hopefully I mixed them up enough that you can't really notice. So, but a lot of them are kind of the same color, you know, red roof, kind of terracotta type of roofing to it, very whitish walls on most of them. I really wish I could actually paint some though. I'd really like to have some more tropical colors and stuff, some more like I'm kind of thinking of like Havana, I guess, maybe. You know, when I think of like tropical places like that, like Cuba and things like that, I'm thinking of like blue houses and like lime green houses and like maybe coral pink and stuff. And I really wish I could paint some of these houses to kind of match that, but some of them you can paint the roofs, and that's pretty much about it. I know there's a mod out there that will let you actually paint like the actual buildings themselves, and it's a mod that I actually used when I was making my geothermal plant, and that's how I painted the turbine hall with kind of that greenish color. I was trying to make it like eco-friendly, kind of blended in. But yeah, so I really wish I could do that with some of the houses, but I don't know if I grabbed the wrong mod or what happened. It's not letting me do it, and even then it paints the entire building, not just, you know, the actual sides or anything. I mean, it does everything. It does the roof and everything, and I don't want everything to be the same color. I'd rather just have some different colors of houses and stuff. So hey, I mean, if anybody out there, if you create assets and stuff for the game, if you want to create me some like tropical houses and stuff like that with like some different colors, you know, like low to middle class residentials, I would love that. That would be awesome. It would be not the first time somebody's ever created anything specifically for something that I'm doing, like a project I'm working on, but it would be the first time in Cities Skylines. And I mean, that would be like amazing. I don't see it happening though. So I'm probably going to actually get in and maybe try to do some of this myself, and maybe I might come up with my own assets and stuff. I know you can use SketchUp for it, and I'm pretty good with SketchUp, so I just got to learn all the other tricks of the trade. What you see me doing right now in the video though is I am actually placing a bridge here and connecting it to one of our main roads that is going to be coming in. This is only going to be one road. I'm going to make another road on the other side of all of this, and you guys will probably see that. I don't know if I'll do that in the next episode or like 2 or 3 episodes down the line, but we're going to connect it kind of in a more of a circular kind of area. But yeah, right here I'm just kind of fixing up the area a little bit, and this is where our geothermal plant is, and this is one of the first times I'm actually using procedural objects. I've kind of took some time and kind of learned how to use this mod a little bit, and I really like it because it lets me do things like almost like Planet Coaster like, where you can kind of move it around like a 3D gizmo in Planet Coaster. If you've played Planet Coaster, you know what I mean when I say 3D gizmo. If you haven't, well, yeah. The other thing that this does and allows you to do, which really opens up doors for what could possibly be done in Planet Coaster 2 maybe, is being able to scale things. Like I can literally like resize an entire item in the game using procedural objects, which is really cool. And I mean, it opens up so many doors that you could possibly do. And the next episode of my Cities Skylines project here, you will see kind of more of this and how I'm going to be using it for making awesome things. But that's the next episode, not this episode. So we're gonna move some rocks out of the way here as you're watching. But yeah, so I'm just kind of moving some things around before we actually start working on the actual houses and stuff. But kind of figuring out the roads and everything, and messing around with those. One of the things that I have on this project is I don't know what I'm gonna call it. So I don't know what my islands are called. I don't know really anything. Currently, I'm just calling it my Tropical Paradise project in Cities Skylines. It needs a better name than that. As far as like the name of the city and stuff, I'm kind of calling it Santa Calico right now, named after one of the first gaming consoles, Calico. And I think that's fine, but it's not great, and I don't want to keep calling it that. So if anybody out there has any great ideas for what I could maybe name the islands or name the city, that would be fantastic. Or maybe one of each. Maybe the islands need their own names, and the city. So currently I think there's 3 islands on the map, if I remember correctly. There's 2 main ones, 2 ones that we're probably going to be building on mostly. And so I could use like maybe, I don't know, something. I mean, maybe it could be Spanish, maybe it could be French. I don't know. It could be maybe something along the lines of like a Hawaiian names or something like that. I don't know. If you guys got any good ideas out there, I would love to hear them, because I'm completely out of ideas. That's why I named it Santa Calico. So yeah. So what we're going to be doing now is, as you can see, I'm placing down these houses and stuff, and I'm going through basically, I'm using Find It and then searching through like the residentials and just kind of finding different houses. As you can see, I've got a lot of different assets that I downloaded when I started on this, but a lot of them I found out aren't going to be usable by me, so I didn't use a lot of them. And as you can already see, a lot of the houses, as I was saying in the beginning of the video, are going to look very, very similar as far as like the orangish reddish roofs with the white plaster walls, so sometimes I would put down a house and be like, no, that house just doesn't fit there, or no, that house looks more a little too wealthy for this area. And I think towards the end of this, I actually just kind of am like, I'm just gonna put it here because it's fine, it's whatever. I'm getting tired of placing houses down one by one. My original thought, and I did try this, was I was going to let the houses kind of just grow in naturally. I was just going to like zone for residential and then let them figure out, kind of what they built there and then kind of go with that. But I tried it. It was awful, and you know, I did this in my last City Skylines project where I put down the houses and stuff that I wanted and made my own suburbs and stuff, and it worked out really, really well. So I decided, you know, after doing that, it's kind of hard to go back and let them just kind of zone for their own things. So we won't be doing that. Maybe in some of the commercial areas I might do that, but for now, for this area, I really wanted to use specific houses, and the houses that they were putting down, just they weren't all that. I don't have a whole lot to really kind of talk about during most of this video. As you can see, I'm kind of skipping around. This was a lot of work. This was probably like 4 or 5 hours of work just on the houses alone. And when I first started with it, I really wasn't sure what it was going to look like. I really thought, oh man, I don't know about this. This is going to probably turn out awful. But by the time I get the houses all placed, and then I start like putting down trees and like actually working in the areas and stuff, and by the time I got this done, I'm amazed myself. I was surprised how good this place looked. And I'm not even done with it yet, because a lot of times I just place down a house. I didn't customize said house. I didn't do anything. Like, I didn't even put a driveway or fencing or anything around the house. I just popped the house down, went on to the next house. So I am going to eventually go back in and redo some of that and do a little bit more detail work. But for now, I think it turned out pretty good, and you know, you really don't even notice it, but I will fix that. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually decided for right here on the shore area, right down here where this beach is going to be, I thought it might be a good idea to place some apartments on here. And a lot of people were calling them condos. I suppose they could be condos, but like I said, I didn't want this area to be a wealthy area. I just wanted this to be the average Joe area. And I thought apartments would probably be better. They're probably expensive apartments because some of them do overlook the ocean, which I'm sure for that view you're going to pay heftily for it. But I didn't want them to be, you know, I wanted them to be kind of nice, and they do look fairly new as well. So maybe what I'm kind of thinking for this area here right around the shore is that maybe there used to be houses or something there, but you know, land development and as the island and stuff is growing, developers and stuff that kind of came in, they've bought the land and they've put down, you know, apartment complexes and stuff. And towards the end of the video, when I place a couple more of these down, you'll kind of see kind of where I'm heading with that. So it's going to be like a mix. Oh, well, there's some houses here. Oh, there's some more apartments, you know, and then another thing of like houses and then some more apartments. The other thing I'm kind of thinking here is like right here in front of these apartments, I put down some more houses in between, you know, kind of on the same road there, in between our main, I don't want to call it a highway. I guess we'll call it the main drag. So the main drag that kind of goes down through here is kind of separated from the rest of the residential areas, our suburban areas. And I did that because I wanted the road, I figured this was going to be one of the main roads around this area, and I didn't want it to have a whole lot of traffic and stuff, so I thought it would be best if we just kind of separate. I didn't want houses and driveways on this main road, so I thought it would be best to kind of put roads that kind of go off to the side, and it's kind of separated out of there. So I am kind of thinking about maybe putting down some commercial area in some of these places, but I don't know because it's kind of just right outside of the city, and distance wise in Cities Skylines, I mean, I'm not really sure how far it is, like how many miles and stuff it is, or what the drive is kind of like, but it really is just like right outside of the city. And I don't know if I really want to do some commercial area in this. If I do, it'd probably just maybe be a restaurant or two, maybe a couple places for the people to shop, and you know, maybe a doctor's clinic or something like that. But I don't want to do like an entire city over here. I just kind of, my entire intentions of this was just to do residential. But now that I've kind of gotten work on it, I'm kind of thinking that it might need a little bit of commercial area over here, just for people who don't want to go all the way into the city. You know, they can just grab quick things here and there. And again, this isn't going to be much of a tourist area or anything either. So it doesn't need to be a huge commercial area. this is just where people live. You know, their daily lives are carried out mostly over here on this side, because once they're off work and they drive home, and you know, but you know, I don't know, maybe they might want to pick up something at Taco Bell or something. I mean, I don't know. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think maybe I should include maybe a little commercial kind of down through this drive? Like maybe take a couple of these houses and stuff out and maybe put maybe a little bit of commercial over here. Do you guys think that would probably be more realistic, or should I keep the houses and stuff where I place them? Which it's hard to answer right now because you guys haven't seen the final product. There are some cinematics at the end of this. I am not great at doing cinematics yet in this game. I'm definitely no expert in this game, but I feel like I'm getting better. And when I work on this, which seems to be taking over a lot of my time right now, I'm really enjoying playing Cities Skylines, but this happens. I get into this game really heavily, and then I get back into Planet Coaster or something, and it takes my time away doing something else. But for now, I'm really heavily back into Cities Skylines, more so than any other game I'm playing right now. It has almost my full attention, and so I'm just kind of thinking, you know, I'm probably going to be working on this for a little while, but I love to do a lot of detail work and stuff in this, and I love to like dig in and do my research and like plan things about how things are going to look. And I guess I over plan, and I stress way too much about how things are going to look, and about maybe trying to create things that are just a little too realistic, and then I get into it, it's just like, well, I mean, I don't know, that doesn't work. Like I did this with the geothermal plant. I literally spent an entire week watching videos on how geothermal plants and stuff work, and I mean, it definitely pays off in the long run, because that thing turned out beautiful, and it's one of the most realistic geothermal plants you'll see in Cities Skylines that I have seen anywhere. I haven't seen anybody else do a geothermal plant like that. So yeah, I just kind of, I overdo things, and I overthink things when it comes to this game, and I worry way too much about small things that don't really matter in the end. So yeah, and so like right now I'm creating another set of apartments here on the other side, and then after I get this done, I'm just going to start placing down some more houses and just working on the roads and stuff a little bit. And then oh my god, guys, the forest brush tool, the mod called forest brush, is absolutely a lifesaver. I went through, found the trees and stuff that I wanted to use, and a lot of them were some of the ones that was already on the map, and I selected those, and you can save your own like brushes, I guess. And then you can just go over with the forest brush and completely like cover an entire area, just instead of just like doing it, which is the regular tree thing, and using like just painting the whole area with that, using only one tree. It mixes and matches the trees and stuff that you want to use. So it's so easy to go in and do that. And I don't know how long this tool has been around, this mod, but it's at least a year or so old, if not more. But this is my first time using it, and it was a huge lifesaver in this. I loved, once I started working with that and playing around with it and things, I mean, it just turned out so good. It made things a whole lot easier instead of having to go in and just placing down one single tree. Being able to put a mix of trees is, you know, and bushes and like shrubbery and things down at the same time, all in just one stroke, basically, is it's a lifesaver. So I highly recommend this mod to anybody who plays this game. And if you're like really into it like I am, then I highly suggest that mod. That is a huge one. And like I said, procedural objects, you guys are going to see more procedural objects in the next video, and how that's going to work, and be able to like open the door to so many options. And you know, maybe I can make you guys think about how you can use it. If you haven't ever used it yet, you know, can maybe dig into it and try it out a little bit and see what you guys think, because it's going to be pretty cool next episode. Next episode, I don't think will be this large of a project. There are so many houses that I placed down here. So many houses that, yeah. And then here in a minute, once I get done with this, I'm going to place down some more houses, and then I've decided to kind of remove a couple of the houses and put some more apartment buildings in, so we'll do that. But for now, I'm going to head out of here. If you guys are liking this series, if you're really enjoying it, if this is the first time you've actually watched one of my episodes of Cities Skylines, I suggest watching the other two as well, and maybe part of my other series that I started, the Appalachian series, because I'm going to get back into that. I am going to start that one over. I lost my save files. Other words, I'd be playing in that one now instead, but I lost my save files, so I can't do anything. I have to completely restart it. So I am going to try to get back into that one, and really get back into more Cities Skylines and stuff here on my channel, and make that a big part of it, along with Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster as well. But you know, basically, if this is the first time you're watching my videos, if you're liking what you're seeing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to get notified of when my next videos. I think a lot of people don't actually use the notification thing as much as, you know, they do. But yeah, and if you do like what you see, hit that like comment as well, or that like button, because man, you have no idea how much that helps out the channel, because what it does is it helps other people find my channel. So if you like what you see, then help me out and hit that like button so that other people can see it as well, and share it. If you've got Twitter or anything like that, share my stuff as well. That's great. And comments help a bunch more than you know. So if you have anything at all that you want to say, I would love to hear your comments below. Feedback about what I've done, names of the you know, what you think maybe I could call the islands or my city, or anything like that. I've got a lot of stuff that I could use feedback on. So yeah, I would love to hear your comments and stuff. Assets for houses, if you know assets I can maybe use, I would love to hear them. I spent an entire week going through the Steam Workshop for Cities Skylines looking for houses, so I don't think I missed any, but it's possible. So or if you're a creator out there and you would love to create some stuff for me, I would love to see that. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. I'm going to let this video kind of play out. It's going to finish up, and then we're going to have some cinematics, which I admit aren't the best cinematics, but I'm still getting the hang of trying to do that, and how the camera and stuff works for that. So yeah, that I feel will get better as we go. I'm out of here, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like, comment below. I'm out. You guys enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you so much.